Hi, my name is Jeremy Haskell. I'm with jobsandme.com, and we're here at the Samoset Inn and Resort in Rockport, Maine for the 17th Annual Maine HR Convention. I'm joined by Pamela Paulk, who is the Vice President of Human Resources for Johns Hopkins Hospital and Health Services. So thank you for joining us, and welcome to Maine.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Great.
And Jeremy, you, I know you struggled with the Johns, with the S on the end of that.
Tell us about that.
So Johns Hopkins actually was a man. Most people don't know that. They think that Johns Hopkins University and Health System are like two people together, but it was one man, and his last name was Johns because it was his grandmother's family name. And so he was the second son, and they wanted to give him the name of his grandmother, so it was Johns. But I'll tell you, people struggle with it. It's hard to put that S on there, but thank you for doing it.
I'm glad I'm not alone in the struggle then. And you're delivering a keynote on strategic workforce development and community. What are some of the key takeaways from your talk?
Well, one thing that I talk about is being mission driven about your workforce development. That so many people go at it as a, just a how do I fill my slots, how do I fill vacancies, how do I keep people productive, and instead we go back to actually Johns Hopkins and what his mission was for the organization. He wanted it to truly be an asset to Baltimore. That's where we are. We're based in Baltimore. We're in the inner city of Baltimore, and so, our mission is not only to provide world-class health care, but also to be an asset to our community. And so when we do our workforce development, we look at not only how do we meet the needs of our organization, but how do we meet the needs of the city as well. And so one of the things I'll talk about today is that we call it a three-pronged approach. And you want me to tell you the three prongs?
I would love to hear.
Okay, well, it's giving away the talk, But first of all, we really look at our incumbent workers, most of whom come from the city of Baltimore, and how do we develop them? How do we help them build their skills? We have shortages. They need jobs. They need better jobs. And so we really invest in all of our employees to keep them happy, keep them productive, but also to give them new skills. And we pay for that. And, and we think that it's a great investment for the organization. The second thing we do, which is probably a little bit more controversial, people are more interested in, is that we do some pretty non-traditional hiring. We get about 12,000 applications a month, which means that we really don't have to go hunting for people. We're lucky enough that they come to us. But instead of just sort of taking the folks that come to us, we reach out in the community. We hire people from homeless shelters. We hire ex-offenders. We're one of the largest hires of ex-offenders, and people worry about that. You're putting ex-offenders in hospitals, but frankly, we have some really, really good data and information about why that's a good idea. And I can tell you, I've been in the job for 12 years. We've never had a problem with any of our ex-offenders. And the EEOC now has just come out in the last month, really putting some pressure in place for us to hire more ex-offenders. And then the third is we have a youth strategy. Excuse me. We really reach into the young people, hoping that they'll choose healthcare as a career. We even go so far as to work with fourth graders.
Wow, starting early.
Yeah, really early. Well, they have to. They start making, kids, it gets set in their mind what they want to be when they grow up at a very, very young age. So we want to excite them about being in healthcare. So we want them to grow up to be healthcare workers.
Sounds very fascinating, and I can understand how that would be that bit of that controversy with the ex-offenders, and you're obviously doing a lot with the younger folks. What are some of the challenges that you've found in terms of trying to address those three prongs? Is there anything that's really a big challenge for you, or how do you deal with those challenges? I'm sure that there are. Well, I
think the biggest challenge is that that we're all looking for talent. We're all looking for good talent. And so I think competition for talent. So one of the things that we've done in Baltimore is that all the hospitals got together and we formed our own nonprofit to do what I call having all boats rise. That rather than us compete for limited talent, we all get together and try to build the talent pool so that there are more skilled workers in the community. So we don't have to compete for respiratory therapists now. Let's train a bunch of respiratory therapists in the community. So I think that's just the challenge, is getting the mix, the match of the talent to the jobs we have. We still have shortages, even though people say, oh, there's no shortage of nurses anymore. it's coming back. I truly believe it's coming back, and so we have to be diligent. We cannot take our eye off the ball on this one.
No, absolutely not. Well, those are some interesting points. I'm very much looking forward to your talk.
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right.